Imagine you are a sailor in the 19th century and you want to travel from Europe to Asia. How long would it take you? How much would it cost you? And what dangers would you face along the way? Well, thanks to one of the greatest engineering feats in history, you can now do it in just 9 days, with less money and less risks. Welcome to the SkySea channel, where we talk about anything related to the sea. In this video, we will tell you the amazing story of the Suez Canal, the man-made river that changed the world. You might have heard about or seen the image of a giant container ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal for 6 days in March 2021, causing a massive traffic jam of hundreds of ships and billions of dollars of losses. This incident showed how crucial and fragile this canal is for the world economy and security. But how did this canal come to be? Who built it? Why is it so important? What challenges does it face? And what is its future? Let's find out. What is the Suez Canal? The Suez Canal is like a giant shortcut that saves you time and money. It's like taking an express train instead of a bus, or like ordering pizza instead of cooking, or like using Bing instead of Google. Just kidding. The canal is 193 kilometers or 120 miles long and incorporates 3 natural lakes, Lake Manzala, Lake Timsah, and the Bitter Lakes. The canal is an open cut without locks and has 8 major bends. The canal can accommodate ships with a maximum draft of 20.1 meters and a maximum beam of 77.5 meters. The canal has a single-lane waterway with passing location in the Balahabai Pass and the Great Bitter Lake. The canal is operated and maintained by the state-owned Suez Canal Authority (SCA) of Egypt. Under the Convention of Constantinople, it may be used in time of war as in time of peace by every vessel of commerce or of war without distinction of flag. However, the canal has also played an important military strategic role as a naval shortcut and choke point. Navies with coastlines and bases on both the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea, Egypt and Israel, have a particular interest in the Suez Canal. Why is the Suez Canal important? The importance of the canal stems first and foremost from its location. It is the only place that directly connects the waters of Europe with the Arabian Sea, the Indian Ocean, and the countries of the Asia Pacific. Without the Suez Canal, shipments traveling between those parts of the world would have to traverse the entire continent of Africa, adding hefty costs and substantially extending their journey times. The time saved by the passage is almost invaluable. Today, a ship traveling from a port in Italy to India, for instance, would cover around 4,400 nautical miles if it passed through the Suez Canal, a journey that, at a speed of 20 knots, would take about 9 days. But the second quickest way to complete the same journey would be via the Cape of Good Hope and around Africa. At the same speed, it would take 3 weeks to traverse the route, which is 10,500 nautical miles long. Adding to its importance is that there are no alternatives to the Suez. Were it not for the Red Sea stretching up above the Horn of Africa and along Sudan and Egypt, no land masses would be narrow enough to support an artificial waterway that links Europe with the Asia-Pacific. The canal's strategically important position now means it hosts nearly 19,000 vessels each year, according to Lyell's list, a shipping industry journal. That amounts to about 12% of total global trade at the time. The canal is especially crucial for transporting oil, as it is a major route for oil tankers from the Middle East to Europe and North America. About 10% of global oil shipments and 8% of global liquefied natural gas pass through the canal each year. The canal not only benefits the shippers and consumers who use it, but also the countries that surround it. The canal generates about $5 billion per year in revenue for Egypt, which is about 2% of its GDP. The canal also provides employment for about 30,000 people who work for the STA or related industries. The canal also stimulates development and cooperation in the region by creating opportunities for trade, tourism, investment, and cultural exchange. For example, Egypt has signed agreements with several countries to develop industrial zones, logistics centers, ports, and power plants along the canal corridor. How was the Suez Canal built? The idea of building a canal across the Isthmus of Suez dates back to ancient times. The first recorded attempt was by Pharaoh Necho II in the 6th century BC, who started digging a canal from the Nile Delta to Lake Timsah. However, he abandoned his project after his engineers warned him that it would flood Egypt by altering its water level relative to that of the Red Sea. Later, Persian king Darius I completed a canal from Lake Timsah to Bitter Lakes around 500 BC, which was used for transporting grain and troops during his invasion of Greece. The canal was later restored and extended by Ptolemy II Philadelphus in the 3rd century BC and by Roman Emperor Trajan in the 2nd century AD. However, after several centuries of neglect and silting up, the canal fell into disuse and was eventually lost under sand dunes until the 19th century. The modern Suez Canal was conceived by French diplomat Ferdinand de Lesseps, who obtained a concession from Ottoman Viceroy of Egypt, Muhammad Ali Pasha, in 1854 to build and operate a canal for 99 years. De Lesseps formed the Suez Canal Company in 1858 and started construction in 1859. The project faced many challenges, such as engineering difficulties, labor shortage, epidemics, political opposition, and financial problems. The canal was built using forced labor of tens of thousands of Egyptian workers, many of whom died from disease and exhaustion. The British government, which controlled India and feared the French influence in the region, initially opposed the canal and tried to undermine it by spreading rumors and supporting revolts. However, after the canal was completed in 1869, the British realized its strategic and economic value and became its largest shareholder by buying the Egyptian share in 1875. The canal was officially opened on November 17, 1869 with a lavish ceremony attended by European royalty and dignitaries. The first ship to pass through the canal was the French imperial yacht L'Aigle, followed by a convoy of ships from various nations. The canal was an immediate success and reduced the sailing distance between Europe and Asia by about 7,000 kilometers. The canal also boosted the development of Egypt and the region by facilitating trade, tourism, and cultural exchange. The canal not only changed the world of trade and transport, but also the world of culture and civilization. The canal facilitated the exchange of ideas, inventions, arts, and religions among different regions and peoples. For example, the canal helped spread the use of steam engines, telegraphs, photography, and cinema. The canal also inspired many artists, writers, and musicians to create works that reflected their impression or experiences of the canal. For example, the canal influenced the paintings of Claude Monet, the novels of Jules Verne, and the operas of Giuseppe Verdi. The canal also affected the religious landscape of the world by allowing more missionaries, pilgrims, and converts to travel across the seas. For example, the canal enabled the growth of Christianity in Africa and Asia, and Islam in Europe and America. What are the challenges facing the Suez Canal? The Suez Canal has faced many challenges throughout its history, both natural and man-made. Some of the major ones are siltation. The canal is constantly threatened by the siltation, which reduces its depth and width and requires regular dredging to maintain its navigability. The canal is also affected by sandstorms, which can reduce visibility and cause accidents. The SCA spends about $1 billion per year on maintenance and dredging of the canal. Competition. The canal faces competition from other routes and modes of transportation, such as pipelines, railways, air cargo, and alternative waterways. For example, the Panama Canal, which connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, was expanded in 2016 to accommodate larger ships and compete with the Suez Canal for the Trans-Pacific trade. Another potential competitor is the proposed Nicaragua Canal, which would also link the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean through Central America. Moreover, some shippers might opt for longer but cheaper routes around Africa or through the Arctic Ocean, especially if fuel prices are low or canal fees are high. Security. The canal faces security threats from various sources, such as piracy, terrorism, sabotage, war, and civil unrest. For example, in 1956, Egypt nationalized the canal and triggered the Suez Crisis, a military confrontation with Britain, France, and Israel that temporarily closed the canal and damaged its facilities. In 1967, Egypt closed the canal again at the start of the Six-Day War with Israel, and it remained closed until 1975, after the Yom Kippur War and the Camp David Accords. During this period, the canal became a front line and a minefield, and many ships were trapped and sunk in its waters. In recent years, the canal has also faced attacks from Islamist militants in the Sinai Peninsula, who have targeted the ships, facilities, and personnel. The SCA has taken measures to enhance security and cooperation with the international partners to protect the canals and its users. Capacity. The canal faces capacity constraints due to the increasing size and number of ships that use it. The canal can handle about 50 ships per day in both directions, but this number might not be enough to meet future demand. Moreover, some ships are too large to fit through the canal or have to wait for hours or days to enter it. This can cause delays, congestion, and higher costs for shippers and consumers. To address this issue, Egypt launched a major expansion project in 2014 to widen and deepen parts of the canal and create a second lane along part of its length. The project cost $8 billion and was completed in 2015. It aimed to increase the annual revenue of the canal from $5 billion to $13 billion by 2023, and double the number of ships that can use it per day to 97. However, some experts have questioned whether the expansion will achieve its goals or whether it was worth its costs. What is the future of the Suez Canal? The Suez Canal remains one of the most vital and strategic waterways in the world, and Egypt is determined to maintain its role and relevance in global trade and geopolitics. The SCA has announced plans to further develop the canal zone into an industrial and commercial hub that would attract foreign investment, create jobs, and boost the economy of Egypt and the region. The SCA has also announced plans to upgrade the canal's technology and services, such as introducing smart traffic management systems, enhancing safety and security measures, improving environmental standards, and offering more incentives and facilities for shippers and customers. The SCA hopes that these initiatives will help the canal overcome its challenges and increase its competitiveness and attractiveness in the global market. The SCA also hopes that the canal will contribute to the stability and peace of the region and the world by fostering cooperation and dialogue among its users and stakeholders. The Suez Canal is a remarkable achievement of human engineering and a testament to the vision and perseverance of its builders and operators. It is also a symbol of the interdependence and interconnectedness of the world's nations and peoples. As long as there is trade and movement across the seas, the Suez Canal will remain relevant and important for the future. Thank you for watching this video from SkySea channel. If you enjoyed it, please show us some love by hitting this like button, sharing it with your friends, and ringing the bell icon to get notified when we upload new videos. And don't forget to leave us a comment below and tell us what you think about the Suez Canal or what other topics you want us to cover in the future. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.